Hi, and welcome to the Virtually Yours podcast, Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed, the no BS hustle-free podcast for business owners who outsource or provide outsourcing services. I'm your host, Rosie, virtual assistant advocate and owner of Virtually Yours, the virtual assistant network. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast episode here with Hanna Finlay from Offsite Tradie and Off-Site Reception. Welcome, Hanna.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Excellent. I've got Hanna here today because her business setup is really cool, and she provides a service that a lot of people don't understand how they can tap into. And I know for a long time I wanted someone to be answering my phones for me because I am terrible with answering the phone. And I had to get my head around it, but I did because I was so desperate to get someone to answer the phones. And Hanna sorted that all out for me, and thank God you guys do that for me now.
Happy to do it.
Good, because, you know, it's just something that I was always absolutely terrible at. And I mean, as you know, even just returning calls, I'm still a shocker. So, so how did you get started as a VA?
I started at least 6 years ago. I was temping. And I love the variety of the different work, doing a couple of weeks in one business, then going and doing something completely different. And I thought, I'm going to cut out the middleman here and do it for myself. And then I discovered the world of VAs and thought, it's not as new as I thought. I thought I was onto something brilliant and new. But yeah, it was good to have a whole bunch of other people in it because it sort of helped me guide to where I needed to be. So, yeah.
And so you started Offsite Tradie first, didn't you?
I actually started off working for corporate, so I was queue administration solutions, and then I moved to Offsite Tradie. Yeah, so I worked in a lot of large companies, helping them with projects, and decided I just wanted to work with the little guy. You know, I didn't need to work with the hundreds of people involved in 6 months to make a decision kind of business. I wanted to help the people that really needed it. So yeah, with your help, we got to Offsite Tradie and started building that. Yeah.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun being involved.
Yeah.
So, Offsite Tradie is still awesome, and it's not just tradies that you support though, is it?
Not anymore now. So we started with tradies, and then I got a couple of phone calls from other industries that said, I know you do this for tradies, but I really would love for someone to do it for me. Would you take me as well? And it sort of just built from there. I thought this is a great market, and that's why I created a separate business that's still generally the same thing, just a different target market, which is Offsite Reception. So yeah.
What sort of businesses? Do you have any really kind of kooky businesses that you do reception services for?
We've got a vet. So we've got a vet that's got full-time staff there, but they get so many calls that we take their calls as well. One of my VA who's running through the white label service, she's got a cocktail bar. So we take bookings for a cocktail bar as well. There's a few interesting ones: music schools, dance schools, driving schools, psychologists. A lot of people need it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The tradies.
Yeah. So how on earth do you keep track of that? I think a lot of people would wonder how someone could answer their phones for them and be able to actually help their prospects or their customers. How do you do that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of training involved and a lot of onboarding. When you get to know a client, you really want to spend a lot of time learning about their business. But I've built an online portal. So as soon as that phone tells me that it's a Virtually Yours call, my team can click on the Virtually Yours link, and all the information they need is there, all the frequently asked questions, ways to send messages to you if we need to. So it's all sort of at the touch of a button. But obviously they would have had their training first and had to read through websites and done their research before being put on a line.
Yeah, I like that because years ago I did reception for a few different businesses, but they didn't have VoIP stuff back then. And
the old mobile phone.
That's right. So I had a couple of mobile phones on my desk, and it was hard because it'd ring and you'd have to manually flick your brain. To picture that, manually flicking it.
Look out.
to whoever that business was. Whereas with yours, when the phone rings, that information comes up on the screen. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll display it on the phone, whether it's a desk phone or whether it's a soft phone, whatever they're using. And it also in the headset will tell them there's an incoming call for, and it'll say the business name.
Wow.
Yeah, so if I'm not at my desk because my headsets are wireless, I can still answer the phone while I'm making a coffee and walking back to my desk because I know who to answer for.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That is
pretty good.
yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. And so you've got a couple of people who work on site with you though, don't you?
I do, yeah. I've got a full-time employee and I've got a casual employee as well.
Mm.
But I've also got a couple of VAs around Australia that take calls as well.
Yeah. So if there's a just extra workload or someone's sick
or we're having torrential rain now, if there's a blackout or the internet drops out, flick it over to WA and keep going.
Handy.
Yeah.
Because the weather is so glorious today.
It really is. What a great day for a public holiday.
Personally, I'm stoked about that. But all good. No, you're going to have a bit of rain. It's great.
Yep.
So I absolutely love that. I find it, to me, it's allowed me to just get rid of one of the things that really drained me in business. And so now I you know, a lot of, so do you have people who, because I'm just going to jump around a bit in here in my brain and you can come along for the journey if you like. I get most of my messages emailed to me, which works really well for me. Does everyone do it that way, or are there different ways that people can find out who's called them?
Yeah, so a lot of the time the clients will want an email if we're just a message taking service for them. But we do have SMS available as well. So if it's an urgent thing, we might have, like we've got some tradies that do make safes after big storms. So they need those jobs SMS to them straight away. So we send those via SMS, but we sort of make the call whether it's an urgent one or whether it just needs to go by email. Some of them want it just SMS and some we book directly into their booking software, so they don't even hear from us. They just see the appointment come up in their software and they go.
That's amazing. So what about VAs? I know a lot of VAs, you know, start up and they've come from a reception type background and they know how to manage a multitude of calls. But for them to set up something like that would just be, you know, apart from doing the whole mobile phone thing, would be really overwhelming. You've got like a white label thing. How does that work?
I do. So I've built my portal from the ground up. So I created it and I tried to make it as easy for the people accessing it as possible. So the way I set it up with the white label clients, there are obviously other VAs who see the potential in their clients to take their calls. They just want to answer the phone. They don't want to think about anything else. So they can sign up to one of my programs. We do all the technical setup. We help them through the onboarding process with their client. Their client doesn't know we exist. We're just tech support. All the phone calls run through the system. They get access to the portal as well. They have the opportunity to take extra calls if they want to earn a little bit of income. And if they're off taking the kids to school, then the phone diverts to us and we answer as a backup. So they've always got that Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 coverage for their clients, even if they only work 2-3 days a week.
That's really cool.
And then at the end of the month, they get a report that has all their pricing on it, so they don't even have to think about the bill.
And then they just charge that to the client.
Well, yeah, or they can tell me what they want to charge the client and my report will show them what I'm charging them and what they're charging their client based on what their quote is. Yeah, so I try to make it as easy as possible so they can just pick up the phone.
Gee, now I know why you are a Rubik's Cube queen. Like building something like that.
Be really close.
She's got it. She's got the Rubik's Cube. My kids stole mine.
Helps you pass the time.
So I bought a Rubik's Cube after visiting Hanna because because I was just like, I really want to work this out, and she's just like clickety click click click, one of those that just makes it work. And I really, and I still do. I want to work it out, but I'll get part way there, and then I'll put it down, and
then you'll forget.
Then I'll come back, and it'll go on to hell because my 8 or 3-year-old, or maybe a fur baby, I don't know, someone has just totally stuffed the whole thing up, and I don't know where it is anymore. So it's called the Rubik's Cube Mum Challenge.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, if you get stuck, you know where I am.
Yeah, I might just
Come out
bring
to
it
the
over
farm.
and say.
Yep. Come out to the farm and have a Rubik's lesson.
I'm always up for that. Always.
Yeah.
But to be able to create something like that from the ground up, man, I look at you and I just see cogs turning because, you know, that's
a bit of a nerd.
pretty full on, yeah. And I mean, when you were doing Q, you were mainly doing websites and quite techie stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, well, we're in Q. It was huge projects. So it might have been, we worked for a waste management company. So it was implementing all their new databases and getting that to talk to the individual trucks and what route it went on to. So there was a lot of background technical stuff. And I sort of think that's where I blossom. That's where I love. So as much as I love speaking to people and doing all the phone stuff, my goal is to be the one behind it all, doing the technical stuff and making it faster and quicker and easier and a more reliable service.
And you do that amazingly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I even just, you know, with the onboarding, I felt like at least, you know, it was Rosie idiot proof.
Yeah.
Because I had VoIP lines here and I was like, oh my God, how do I get them over there? And what do I do here? And we had the 2 VoIP lines and one was going over there and one was staying here. And you know what? The best thing about this office is the phone. There's a phone here somewhere. Don't you love that? I don't know. Never rings. Never rings.
Nice.
It's like the dream.
Is it plugged in?
I don't know.
Probably doesn't
not,
need to.
because otherwise Ella would be calling China like every second day. It's around here somewhere. So, I think it was plugged in for a bit, and then Ella discovered it. So she's going to be 4 next month, for those of you who don't know, and she discovered the phones. She can climb up. So Greg's got another office. My husband's got another office in the house, and makes it sound massive. In our ginormous mansion.
Yep.
And
double office.
Oh yeah. And she can climb up onto his desk and get his phone. So we have to lock his office when he's not there, because she'll just. I went to his office one time and said, "You've been on this call for 2 hours and 28 minutes." He's like, "Who to?" I don't know. But I've ended it now.
Could be anyone. Could be anyone.
Yeah, so it could have been a radio station and we were just running live the whole time.
Yeah, that I would listen to.
It's got to be better than some of them.
No, definitely.
Oh, I love it. So I can't even imagine, you know, where you could go from here with your business. To me, it looks like it's just doing so well. And I mean, you went out into another office for a little bit, and then came back home to the home setup, which I've seen the VAs do over the time. What are the plans moving forward?
This time next year, I plan to be in a proper office on my own. So last time I was in sort of a share building. It was an accountancy firm and they rented out a room.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time next year, I plan to be in an office, and I'd like to at least double my team. I'm looking for an extra one at the moment, so it's growing. Always looking for new people to put on. So it's,
nice. But that's someone local, yeah?
Yes, it'll be someone local that'll come to my house, and then when I've got my office, hopefully in town. I don't want to go all the way into Ballarat. I'd like to stay in my little country town, but I'd like to have another staff member on. That'd be good.
Yeah. So if you're around the Rat area, you're awesome with the phones.
Give me a call.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. So any handy tips you can give to business owners around, you know, making a transition from answering their own phones to getting someone to do it for them?
Yeah, so I guess whenever you find that it's frustrating you to answer the phone, that's the time when you need someone on. We find that a lot of people that are working for themselves think that they can't afford a service like this, but they can't afford not to have it if it's taking them away from their clients. We've even got businesses that are chiropractors. They might work in the mornings and the evenings, but they're off for a chunk of 4 hours during the day. So even just a couple of hours to help relieve the pressure off what you're doing and to stop disconnecting you from what you're doing. You could answer a phone call and be on the phone for 10 minutes, and then it takes you another 10 minutes to get back to what you were doing. So it's easier than you think to make it change. It's a 1 hour meeting and forwarding a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people think that if you're going to be there 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, answering their phones, that they're paying for you for that full time, don't they? That's not how it works, is it?
No.
Yeah,
no, it's not. No, it's not. So we do have a monthly fee to have the service, which covers a lot of changes to the system. We've recently introduced call recording and that sort of stuff as well. So and then it's a per call basis. So if you are on holidays and not taking any calls and not advertising and no calls come through, you're going to have a minimum bill that month. Alternatively, if you are taking holidays, you've still got someone to answer the phone and do your bookings for you. So it's something that it's almost essential to small businesses, especially, particularly tradies and people working on their own. Because they don't need to worry about it. It's one less thing on their tasks.
Yeah, to me it's a no-brainer. When I had the VoIP line, I was paying for the calls and stuff like that coming in, and the minimum fee, and having to answer the calls myself. Whereas obviously it's not
and getting the voicemails and calling back and
and whereas having someone else do that, for me, I mean, I don't think I don't have a massive number of calls coming in.
No.
I direct most people to email. But for me, when I've got it set up as direct debit, because it is that affordable that I know it's not going to bounce.
Yep.
And because it's a no-brainer, and it is. I don't think people realise how affordable it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just makes a difference because you can drop your kids off at school and know that a call's going to be answered. You can have a sickie.
Yeah.
Take 2 weeks off. I've got a psychologist that's going on 6 weeks holidays over Christmas, and she's going to come back to full books.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and she won't have to pick up the phone and make those bookings herself.
Yeah. So. And I'll have, so with mine, I'll have people contacting us around how they can submit a job lead, and Hannah and her girls help them through that. I don't have to do it. And people wanting to know a little bit more about membership, Hannah and the girls can help with that. And so if they email me, I'll email them back. But when it comes to the phone, my phone, the sound on my phone is terrible. So it actually is quite unprofessional to pick it up. And 2, I've got kids in the background and I just generally don't like the phone. So it's so much more efficient, more effective, and more professional to have a friendly voice who knows my business picking up the call. And that's part of it too, is that it's professional, but it's friendly and it's real. It doesn't feel like there's this, massive room full of robots answering the calls. Yeah. It's like it's part of your team answering the calls.
Yeah, and you've got your recording at the start as well, so it sounds like you're big time.
Yeah. I had fun with the recording.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that you did it. I think it suits yours definitely to have your voice on it. I do most of them.
Yeah.
So it probably sounds a bit weird to the callers hearing my recorded voice saying, "Thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. Please stay on the line." And then, hello, same person answering, but whatever. Just change the pitch in the recording a little bit and it doesn't sound like me anymore.
Yeah, you do the peppy thing.
Yeah.
On that note, so I basically today wanted to let people know how that sort of thing can work. Whether you're a VA wanting to offer reception services or you're a business owner and you're crazily answering your own calls, which I think is nuts personally.
I don't even answer my own calls.
Yeah, there you go.
I make my team do it.
How funny is that? It's the best though, and to me it means that I can get more conversions on those general inquiries coming through, more action taken. And it's eased a massive stress for me because I've found the calls or the lack of my ability to take the calls or return the calls really, really stressful. And so even just in terms of easing that stress, it's been really, really worth it for me.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked that you've come along today and shared with us how it all works.
Thank you.
And
I've enjoyed it.
yeah, and so where can people go if they want to learn more about you and your business?
Yeah, so our website is offsitereception.com.au.
Awesome.
Yeah, or they can get us on 0390212777.
Beautiful. So that's a good idea. They could ring you.
Yeah, they could ring one of my team. Yeah.
Yeah. If you get Hannah, you'd be pretty lucky. Straight to the top.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So we'll put those
you.
links and that number in our show notes, and some information. Are you able to share some information in our show notes about your white label?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I can
Beautiful.
send through some stuff.
Excellent. Thanks so much for your time today, Hannah.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Cool. See you later, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode of Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed. Bye. Hey, thank you for listening to the Virtually Yours podcast, Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed. Between now and our next session, I know you're going to be hanging out to take some action on outsourcing in your business, so head on over to virtuallyyours.com.au and you can download some information there about the best ways to outsource for business growth. If you're a virtual assistant, make sure you join us. We have an amazing virtual assistant community at Virtually Yours, Aussie VAs connecting and helping each other grow. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you at the next podcast.